What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? We are here. We're back for another episode of the Love Entrepreneurs Show. It's Thursday. It's 5 o'clock in the United States. It's 11 o'clock, I believe, in the UK. Is that right?
10 o'clock.
It's 10 o'clock in the
10 o'clock.
10
UK.
o'clock.
Okay.
Mhm.
At some point, I'm gonna get that right. At some point, start showing up for meetings on time. At some point in the UK. So we are here. We're back, and it is time for us to have this conversation that we have. You all already know. Those of you who have seen this already know what this is about. This is Love Entrepreneurs, and if you're not familiar with what Love Entrepreneurs is a group of people, a group of great, great people that are solely interested in helping ordinary people build extraordinary businesses. And we're going to talk more about that and the big fix and Silver Tree and some other things under the title today. If you saw the flyer under the title of strategies for building a thriving business. Nobody gets into business saying that they don't want to thrive. I've never heard somebody open a business and say, you know what, it doesn't really matter whether it works or not. I just wanted to say I did it. I haven't met anybody like that. All the people that I know that have started businesses have some goals in mind. They want to see it scale. They want to see it thrive. They want to see it operate on an optimal level. So we're going to kick around some ideas, maybe based on our experience or based on the knowledge that we know, or pull it out of thin air, whatever it is. We're going to talk about some strategies today for building a thriving business. But first, before we do that, let's get some introductions for anybody who might be watching this or watching the replay and is not familiar with the faces that you see on the screen. Let's start with Lisa, who is fresh off, a trip from Yard. So let's talk about that. Lisa Brown is in the house. Introduce yourself, and then followed by Leary, and then I'll introduce myself after that.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am Lisa Brown, Chief Executive Officer at Solutions via Carulian LLC. We're a strategic communications firm. I have kind of moved a bit forward now with my mindset course that is in development because when you're talking about starting a business or just being in business, it is crucial to have the proper mindset for success, or else you're going to have a more difficult time. So I have dedicated my time. My background is in medical imaging and the medical device industry and neurosurgical navigation. So I've spent a lot of time on the human body, and I've now kind of zeroed in on neuroscience and our brains because we're born and we don't get manuals for them, really, to show us how to properly use our brains as a tool so that we can optimize our success in life. So that is what I'm so excited about. And I've been developing my course and I've been working with, here we are, Love Entrepreneurs, and we're trying to work with other businesses who are of an emotional intelligence. That's what we want to do. Emotional intelligence is what we kind of using this word more and more because we used to kind of measure intelligence by the IQ, like how smart are you and what this number is and what's that. But when you have a fuller understanding of the world that you're in and your role in it and the actual role that you can play in your life, it just brings a whole different dimension into how you move in the world. So I am dedicated to making sure that we learn how our brains work with our body and how that affects everything around us. So that's why I'm here with Love Entrepreneurs. And we're helping other businesses become extraordinary just because we know more about ourselves and how that impacts everything around us. And that helps create success.
That is awesome. That's Lisa Brown. Lisa Brown is in the
Fresh
house.
from Yard, as Oliver said. And that
Yes,
would be
indeed.
in Jamaica for those who don't know what Yard means. And that's YAAD. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Make it clear and plain. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Mhm.
Thank you for being here. Leary,
Thank
tell
you.
us who you are, what you do. Leary, just I'll just say this before you start. Leary is the brainchild behind this this passionate group of individuals. And so, go ahead and tell us who you are. As I see my good man Peter coming to the stage, Peter, you'll introduce yourself after Illyria is done.
Cool. Thank you very much, guys. So, I've learned something new tonight. Yard, y'all, yard. Okay. So Lisa
YAAD.
YAAD. Lisa Brown is in the house. So, listen, I've got a message for people tonight. So, I started Love Entrepreneurs as a community, actually as a fellowship, really, wanting to give entrepreneurs a real home to feel themselves and to be able to share ideas openly and honestly, in the spirit of love, actually, with other entrepreneurs, not in the spirit of I come and I preach and I, feel better than everybody else because I'm telling everyone else what to do. I had a very humbling experience in Oxford once when I went in front of about 400 people and I had what was then the Silver Tree idea. Um, and I thought I knew it all. I really did. I thought there was no stone unturned. My oh my, how wrong was I? These people came up with ideas that not only had I not thought about, they were not even on my thought processing sort of line. They weren't even in my brain. And that made me really think, the power of my mind is great, but I can't operate on my own. I need the power of other people's minds to help me move forward. And actually, I need their conviviality, their companionship, their support, their help, their business brains, all of that I need to move forward as a human being. I need socialization. And what we've created collectively here, this is not an I, this is a we are a fellowship of people who've come together to share their experience, strength and hope with other people so that we can all learn from each other, we can all grow together, because there's no man left on his own or woman left on their own. We grow together collectively. And one of the things, I mean, I had to start, just in case you don't know my background, I had to start, I had thriving businesses. I made a lot of money. I lost a lot of money too. I ended up going to prison. Um, I would say it was something I didn't do, but some people may disagree. But we'll leave that for the controversy moment. Some of you can talk to me later. And I ended up penniless, literally homeless and penniless, and had 43 quid, pounds, dollars in my pocket. And I had to start again, and that's been one of the hardest, most brutal, most rewarding, most humbling, most amazing and awful all at the same time journeys I've ever had to come along. And I really Love Entrepreneurs was born out of me wanting to put people alongside me to help me grow on my journey. Right. So I was the first gardener, if you like, and I sort of handpicked people to come alongside me. And so that's the thing. So my message to people tonight, what Lisa said about mindset, the one thing I have learned, and I've been struck by a moment recently of pretty bad anxiety, really panicky anxiety, horrendous, can't get rid of it. The one thing I would say to everybody out there is mindset does matter. It doesn't matter what your body looks like, it doesn't matter how strong or weak you are. Everything is in the mind. Everything is in the mind. And it's that power of visualization. If you can see yourself doing something, the chances are you will do it. And in this community, we get spiritual help. I don't know how it happens. We just hold each other up. And it is truly extraordinary. And it starts by people we'll talk about the big fixed data. But I just wanted to say that this community has surpassed all my expectations, because I don't know if you guys knew this, but this is something I started actually for me. It was to help me and keep me going. And in turn, I've kept other people going, and in turn, you keep me going, and in turn, we keep each other going, right? So it wasn't somebody coming as a guru saying, "Hey, I've made millions, I'm brilliant." It was very
Yeah.
much born out of I need help. So there we go. That's me.
That's awesome too. And we're going to talk about the big fix, which was the signature dish that came out of that Oxford experience
Hmm.
that you had. We'll talk about that in a little while. And the Silver Tree Love Entrepreneurs community is growing by leaps and bounds. A UK burst entity, if you will, that is expanded into several other countries, now including the United States. And we got our good friend Barry checking in from Trinidad and Tobago. It is expanding there as well. There's some things happening in South Africa and other parts of the world as it relates to this. And so, Barry, thanks for being here. He said he's in the field today, but looking forward to the conversation. We got the great Peter Russell in the house. Peter
Whoop,
Russell,
whoop.
Hey, hello everyone.
what's happening, Peter? Tell us who you are, what you do.
My name is Peter Russell. As you would have already heard, I'm a sales trainer and business coach. And if there's just one thing I can teach you today, it would be this: success is a team sport. You can't succeed on your own. It doesn't happen. It's impossible. So don't be like one of those crazy naked people who run into the pitch during a match and everyone's cheering. They think they are great, but we all know what it's like. So um, find a problem you can solve. On this planet, there's a lot of them around. So I bet you will find one or two. Find people who are ready and willing to help you out, and all of you will be able to work together to succeed, to help countless others who are facing this problem. And without you, they wouldn't have found a solution to it. So that's the quickest, easiest recipe for success.
Man, that's awesome. And listen, before we've even really dug into the conversation, you're already getting from the three individuals who have spoken. You're already getting strategies for building a thriving business, and we're going to pick their brains a little bit to get some more strategies as well. If you're not familiar with who I am, my name is Oliver Marcel, and as it relates to my entrepreneurial journey, I sit on a stool that has three legs. One leg is the relationship building leg. I am passionate about seeing relationships thrive, both personally and professionally. So, as a speaker, author, and coach in that arena, I work to allow people the freedom and give them the motivation and inspiration to communicate on an extraordinary level, to recognize, manage, and recover from conflict in record time, and to build a holistic, intimate bond on the personal side and on the team corporate side, building a team that is oozing with synergy, is able to recognize and manage conflict, is able to produce cohesiveness that allows for a phenomenal amount of productivity. That's one leg of the stool. The other leg of the stool is the tech arm, video production, uh, the ability to do voiceovers, all of those kinds of things that lend themselves to the social media space and to the media space. That's the second leg of the stool. The third leg of the stool is men's enrichment, based on a book that I wrote for men called Overcoming the Man Laws for the man who wants to be his best despite what he was taught. And I talk about my journey of self-discovery in other areas in hopes that it will encourage and inspire men to live, thrive, and win in every area of their life. So that's me. So that's the four people that you have on the panel this evening. Listen, I'm just going to lob this up in the air like a basketball. What are some strategies for building a thriving business from your experience?
Can I go first?
Indeed.
Yeah, go for it.
Right. Strategy number one, it's never about money. Okay. Everybody says, oh, it's always about money. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. I'll tell you exactly what it's about because I've done it myself and I've got enough experience and I've done it from the perspective of having had lots of money and starting businesses. And I've done it now from the perspective of having £43 and started businesses. So I actually am well versed in knowing this. It's got to do with this and only this. Anybody that tells you otherwise, forget it. It's just nonsense. It's got to do with mindset. It's got to do with carrying on and having the will to carry on regardless of what is going on. And that will and ability to have that will to carry on regardless comes from taking care of your mind, taking care of your body, carrying on believing in your vision, your purpose. Why aren't you doing this? Because let me tell you, you will spend 99% of your time doing tasks that you bloody hate. 1%. Einstein once said 99% of what I did was perspiration. 1% was inspiration. So that's the thing. You've got to be able to get over the fact that you're going to have to do a lot of grunt work, but you have to learn to do it with a glad heart because you're doing it for a higher purpose. The why you're doing your business has got to be up there with a higher purpose. So when we talk about thriving and surviving, we don't necessarily, it doesn't have to be, I must be a billionaire tomorrow. If I haven't made £1,000 by the end of today, I am a failure. There is no such thing as failing. The only failing is to not try and not carry on trying. Most businesses fail because people give up. Why did they give up? Because their mental mind wasn't strong enough and their why wasn't strong enough. Simple as. You ask any entrepreneur, from Elon Musk to, we can't ask Apple Man now, but ask all of them. The stories are there in front of you. But you've got to feed your mind with inspirational stories which will carry you through really dark moments. And you will have them. You will have them. Read things like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Ideate, get the right friend groups around you. Look at innovation, look at different ways, always of looking at things. The word entrepreneur means in French, entre is between, prenez, it comes from the verb to take. People who take in between, they look through the cracks, they see opportunities. Do not believe people who tell you no. There are plenty of people who will say no. Everybody will always say no, but you've got to believe in you and yourself and your power to carry through and win. Because your success will depend upon the strength of your mind, ultimately. Amen.
Wow, that's great.
Absolutely.
Listen, it's a free for all. I'm gonna very gingerly moderate, but you guys just go ahead and jump rope in at any moment. That's awesome. Yeah, I love that you started at the top with what happens up here, right? Because often we start talking about other things. We start talking about the grind of it all and the mechanics of it all and the logistics of it
Grind
all.
with happiness with a
Started
glad
with
heart. Grind with a glad heart because it's for a higher purpose.
I
Look
love
at
it.
what I'm wearing. I'm like a traffic light tonight. Sorry.
Absolutely. There's no other way. One mistake I see aspiring entrepreneurs do over and over again is to try to build a successful business. And if you are on the way of doing precisely this, stop now. It's impossible. You can't do this. It doesn't happen. And I'll tell you why. Entrepreneurship is the toughest yet the most rewarding personal development program available on this planet today.
I can attest to that.
Why is it so? Understand that it takes skill to build and run a successful business. Have you had one now, you would have already had a successful business. So stop trying to build a business because you can't build it. It's a byproduct of you building a skill set that allows you to do this. Take a house. You can't build a house just because you want to, unless you want to risk that this little contraption of yours is going to kill you when you're going to live in it. So first, you need a skill of building a house that can withstand something, and then you can build a house. Same thing with business. You're not building a business, you're building yourself first. And years, often decades, are being lost by people who are trying to, they see themselves as a tool, their experience and expertise. Okay, I'm the tool which is building this business, which is a product. It's nonsense. Because your skill set is not good enough right now. What you need to do is a skill set that's required to achieve what you have set to achieve, and only then you can do it. And then it's a really simple execution of, okay, to build a house, you need this, in this way, off you go. So simply, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, just I was looking at a comment, and this is probably going to tie into what you're about to say next. We got Leonore Jones in the house. Thank you for being here. Leonore is a business owner as well, running a wonderful business called Legacy Builders. One day I'm going to have her on here so she can talk about who she is and what she does. But the question that she asks is, you should focus on building yourself and your skills,
yes,
not the business.
Precisely.
The success will come as a result of the mastery.
Precise.
Lenore has it. Lenore gets
absolutely.
It.
This is it. And wherever you go, whether it's someone who's a performing artist, whether it's singing, having an instrument, playing an instrument, whether it's sport on a professional level, same process applies. First, you have to grind and build the skill to the level which surpasses anyone else's, to the point where it really matters and really looks great. So people are like, wow, this is really good. And only then you can actually go out and perform for people. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to keep the attention of the audience for too long. Look at Formula One. It's not the driver who does everything, all the job. It's actually the mechanics which change 4 tires in 2 seconds. And they have trained and practiced until they got to this level. And then it's about flawless execution in the moment of need of the trained sequence. Had they not trained this countless times before, they would not have been able to execute this in the race when it really matters. And even then, winning one race doesn't mean anything. You need to win most of the races within the season consistently. And that's the only thing that makes champions we hear stories about. Everyone else is irrelevant. You don't know who won one race last year. You know who was the champion.
Good point. I love that. Listen, I love where this is going, because it's going in a direction that sometimes in our minds is counterintuitive to actually being successful, right? Because nobody's talked about money yet. Nobody's talked about sales. Nobody's talked about marketing yet, right? So it's interesting that's where we're starting. And Lisa, listen, Lisa Brown has the word strategist in her title. So we're talking, you know what I'm saying? So we're talking about building strategies here. Leonore says that that means 70% are unsuccessful simply because they're still looking outside of themselves.
Loving it.
There she goes again.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on, Leonora. When are you joining us, sweetie? We need you. We need people like you, seriously. In our
I gotta
Get
I
it.
gotta get Leonore to do a big fix. We're gonna talk about what the big fix is in
Definitely.
a second.
So,
But
so,
Leonore, that's
so,
something you may want to
just to Leonora's
consider doing.
point, right? Just let hammer this home for everybody. It's a shame Leonora's not on, but when Leonora talks about looking outside themselves, I think the natural thing is we're all comparing ourselves to others. We're going, oh, I haven't, made enough money, or I'm not getting enough influence followers, or I'm not doing this, or I'm not doing that. What we're doing is we're actually giving our power away to everybody else.
Absolutely.
Scratch that. We have no agency in what we're doing anymore. We've forgotten already why we're doing what we're doing. We're not doing it to benefit other people. We're doing it to benefit ourselves. This is an inward journey. And what
Yeah.
happens, as Peter said, when you get brilliant at doing what you do, your energy vibrates at a different level. You open your mouth and amazing things happen. People listen to you because you've honed those skills over years of practice. I can see Lisa Brown radiating there in the corner. You've honed those
I'm
skills
so
over.
proud of you. What you're saying, I'm so proud.
Oh, I've
Go.
learned from you,
That's
my
what
love.
it is. I just feel like
I'm a good
so.
disciple. You see, I met you at the right time. So do I get a brownie point? Excellent. So anyway, and I think that's the thing. Stop comparing yourself with others, because
Yes.
some of the, we all do it. I do it. We all do it. But these are the things. It's almost like we need 12 steps of things not to do. We compare. Don't compare yourself to others. You are unique. Your
Yes.
business product is unique. People will buy you. They won't buy anybody. They will
Mhm.
buy from you because they like you. They resonate. You energize. You resonate energetically on a certain vibration, and they will feel it. They will feel it. And also, do not get bamboozled by these here tomorrow, here today, gone tomorrow lot. You'll see it. Oh, this is the best business idea of the century. Give it 5 years and it'll be tomorrow's chip paper. It'll be gone. It'll be
Yeah,
gone.
that's good.
Just as quickly as it arrived, it will be gone.
That's good. Lisa, I want you to put your input on this as well. And then,
Mm,
and after you put your input on this, here's where I want you to take it. We often have, there is often a misrepresentation of what thriving, the word thriving actually means.
mm.
So as you speak on this, take us in that direction as it relates to thriving, and in your view, what does it even mean to thrive? Because for some people that means $10 million, so that means they'll never thrive.
Yeah.
I think we sometimes have a misconception of what that looks like. So
Yeah. I say when you're trying to create a successful business, like Illyri said, it's mindset, right? And the thing is that again, we have to understand who we are as individuals and what we are truly capable of. Because whatever you thought, it's so much more than that if you haven't really gone in to really know yourself. And this is we limit ourselves a lot of the time. It's not something outside of us that limits us. We tend to put these limitations on ourselves.
mhm.
And I was one to never kind of really do that. I didn't subscribe to a lot of things that I had heard and seen in my life. Some things just don't make sense to me. Like everybody else is going, like just everything just makes sense, and they're going about their way, and I'm sitting here going, that makes sense to you, But it's to dare to be an independent thinker, dare to just kind of see a situation and go, but wait a minute, how do I feel about it? Run it past yourself and see how you feel about a thing. Not something that's been laid out for you, something that's already been developed, and now you just kind of, follow the head in front of you and proceed.
Mm.
You have to dare. There's a courage that you need in order to move towards your direction of what it is you truly want to accomplish. And if you service others, that just makes it all the better because you get to benefit yourself and benefit others. Because service to others should essentially be hopefully a part of what your plan is. And once you tune into that part of you that's inside that designs the life that's going to be coming you get to really be in the driver's seat of your life and your successes. But if you don't first understand that you are the driving force in your life in every aspect, then you're not probably going to have the life experience you should have. And we have to get with the program. We have to understand that there's just more going on than these two little eyes can give us information on. So we have to be insightful and we have to ask more questions about just everything. That's how you get to find out what is the most important moves for you to be making. So you have to, once we get to that point where we understand that we're good enough by yourself, nothing outside of you, you got to understand that first. You need to know that you have the power to make your life how you want it. You have the skills, you can find the tools, and you can find the resources, and you can find the proper partners, which are things that I never had in the past. I always was very, I've spoken before about, oh, partners and, ooh, the feeling that I would get. But once you start to do the work of connecting with yourself on an intimate level, meaning the ego, do your own research. You got to take that ego that's in all of us and it has to go to the corner because you get to get to the real you, the core of yourself. And once you do that, that is the entrance into making miraculous changes in your life. So we have to do that first because the competition, I've answered this question before. When I was going into the medical device industry, and before I got there, I had to be interviewed and so on. So the question that they asked was, they asked me something pertaining to competition and coworkers and how I would, be competing with them. And I was like, I'm going to answer this honestly because either I can give them the answer that I think they want, or I'm going to answer it honestly. And me being me, I'm going to take that chance and I'm going to answer it the Lisa way. And I said that I'm not in competition with anybody. I don't know what John, Sean, Amelia, I don't know what they're doing. And it's not of my concern. All I am concerned with is me at the end of the day. So what my personal goal is to be better than I was yesterday. And that's my everyday goal of life anyway. So with any position that I was going to hold at that time, that was going to be the answer. I gave that answer and I was like, I don't know if they're going to hire me because I didn't say, oh yeah, I care about what that person does and I'm going to be the, I don't care. And I'm just going to answer honestly. I don't care what anyone else is doing. It's about my performance because I understand that nothing outside of me can impact me.
Hmm.
So it's a me and myself situation. I got the
Got you.
job. They
I got
probably
you.
were
So,
like, I don't know about this one. But I was like, I'm not going to answer it any other way, but truthfully, because that's how I live. And once you know what you want in your life, it is good to feel. You don't know when the successes come in, but if you can get yourself into the mind frame of how would I feel if everything I ever wanted happened and feel that. You can call it acting, you can call it pretending, you can call it visualization, doesn't matter what you call it. Envision and feel inside here with your emotions what it would feel like to have that successful business that you want. And when you can get into that mindset of gratefulness and thankfulness and freedom, because now when you have that business and you're successful enough and you're prospering enough that you can help others and help yourself, then you are on path for success. And it's not necessarily, again, the time we don't know, but once you hone into that and you connect your heart, your feelings and emotions into what you're doing, and you feel how you would feel if you were successful and having the business that you want. But not only that, you got to live there. So you have to live in a certain state of mind all the time to be happy and to be grateful and be thankful. So that means you're grateful and thankful for your life, for the air, for everything. And if you do that, you will find that everything in life gets easier. So now when you have to do work, it doesn't feel like work anymore. And you do a little bit every day. It's like that slow and steady wins the race, like the tortoise. You're not trying to run through like the rabbit. So
Right.
it's like and a lot of us, again, we burn out because we don't always think we can do it. And if you don't think you can do it, it's not going to happen.
There it
You got to
is.
think it, you got to know it, and you got to visualize it. You got to see yourself successful in that business and what it looks like, what it smells like. Is the sun out? Is it cloudy? You got to see it. And if you don't
Wow.
have that, you're not going to sustain yourself continuing in your business. You're going to burn out before that 2 years, which they give us.
Hmm.
When you start a business, right? They say you got 2 years. And if you survive the 2 years, you might have a shot. But if you do this, you're kind of guaranteeing that you're going to make it past that 2 years. But if you don't feel it in here, you can't make it past that 2 years, and you're going to burn out and you're going to give up. And it could be right there. You're just a few moments closer to your goal, and you give up right before because you didn't see it. So that visualization of your successful life
Hmm.
is necessary to get to that successful life.
Yeah,
It, it
you're
sounds
saying
like
something.
it's real though. I'm,
Yeah,
I'm talking
you're
from
saying something
experience.
that's very significant. You're talking about, and it excuse me, in the way of defining thriving. You're talking about walking and living in thriving
Every
before
day.
there is a tangible thrive in the way of what we think about. You're already living that. You're
Yeah.
already visualizing that. Your mindset is already there. You're already walking in that. Your spirit is already there. I love it.
You
I
step
love that.
into it. You just
I love it.
connect with it, because if you're starting this business and you're doing all of this stuff every day, but you don't see yourself as a winning your goals and achieving what you want to, it's not going to happen. You can't be
Not
full
gonna
of
happen.
doubt inside and be actively working and full of doubt. You're not going to bring about the success you're looking for. So we just got to know
Agreed.
that we have what it takes inside, nothing
Le-
outside of you.
Leonore says, what I hear Lisa saying is that if you don't have an idea of what success looks like, how will you know that you've arrived? My daily goal then becomes making progress toward that picture. And
There goes
Barry,
Lenore again.
there she is again. Barry chimed in as well.
That's it.
Truth, powerful insights from Lisa. Listen, I want to shift it just a second, right? I love where this conversation went. I love that we started at the very beginning. We started at what is happening here, because what happens here, everything that happens next is going to align with that. I want to kind of move further into the process to the space where you begin to now have individuals around you. Lisa, you talked about this. Alira, you talked about this
We'll
as
have
well,
them.
in your circle that can now help to guide and provide wisdom and insight and expand your personality. Aliri, in the beginning, when you were talking about your experience at Oxford, that experience birthed in you something that happens every week now, called the Big Fix. And the Big Fix, for those of you who are not familiar with what the Big Fix is, the Big Fix is an opportunity now for you to be amongst individuals like the folk you see on this screen and share your business ideas, share your vision, as Lisa talked about having a vision, share your goals, share your pain points, share your challenges, and have individuals pour into you in a way that allows you now to learn, ingest, digest, if you will, strategies to help your business to thrive. We've all been a part of that experience. Leonore, I want to get you in as a part of that experience as well, so that you can experience that as well. But talk about the importance of something like the Big Fix as we talk about mindset, as we talk about visualization, as we talk about goals, as we talk about choosing our circle, as we talk about, like Peter said, you can't go about this alone. We're not trying to be the lone streaker on the soccer field, right? Right? We're trying to get amongst some folk who can help us get where we need to go. Talk about the importance of the Big Fix as it relates to what that can do for individuals who are looking to build strategies for thriving
I
businesses.
think well, Peter will have views on this. So Peter and I, firstly, just to introduce Peter, how we Peter and I work together, we allow people to come and do a big fix. It's free. Now, between Peter and myself, we've both built $1 million, $1 million businesses. I've told you what happened to mine. I'm on the way back there, but it's a slow process. But the point is, regardless of what's happened, I've learned a few things en route. I've learned things to do, things not to do, things I could have done better, things I should never have done, etc., and so forth. And what we're trying to do is bring everybody's real life experience to bear onto your business, the person who's doing the big fix, as if it were our own business. So the question is very much someone comes along and says, like today, we had Matthew Wildman that says, I'm a will writer, I'm an estate planner, I'm qualified, but I need to get more leads. That's the thing, lead generation. And what we had was people were thinking about, well, what would they do if it was their business? And when you can get into people's minds of what would they do if they owned that business, but not in a sort of challenging way, they've got to sort of sign their life away to sort of, just in a free flowing ideation way, you get some amazing, cool, out of the box, ridiculous sometimes thoughts that, or at first glance you think, oh, that's a bit ridiculous, and you think about it, you think, crumbs, that could really work with that person if we had a collaboration between those three people in the room who have known each other maybe for 3 months but have never spoken to each other, right? Because people don't collaborate. But the other thing, Peter and I then offer coaching for people who come through the big fix if they want it. Now, this is not because we want to make loads of money out of coaching, because we don't. This is not our central businesses. We make peanuts really for the time we spend. But we genuinely want to help small businesses thrive and survive because we've got a wealth of experience. We've done it once. I've lost it. Peter still got it because he's lucky. But we've learned something. And it's this knowledge, it's this learning. You don't get that. You don't get that from someone who's just set themselves up as a coach who's never run a £1 million business or £100 million business before. You just don't get that kind of knowledge on the street.
Sure.
You just don't get it because they'll all be working for Capgemini or running Capgemini or Deloitte or whatever it is. You just don't get that kind of real tough. And it is tough sometimes because people do not want to hear the truth. And I say to people, come with an open mind. Don't come at this from the perspective of I'm here to make your life shit. I'm here to give you a tough time. I'm not. I'm here to learn with you to make the best product out of you as can humanly happen. I've got a vested interest in this because I want you then to be part of the community and go out and preach to other people. Come into our community. Let us help you too. So Peter came up with a brilliant idea of, this is an example, right, of a brilliant idea that I hadn't thought about. So I've been part of the team that's developed Silver Tree. As you know, I came out of prison, had no money, so I had to create my own, right? So we invented silver. Brilliant. And Peter said to me one day, he said, well, this is insane. Why aren't you using, I was talking to him about the government, the UK government's seed enterprise investment scheme. And he said, well, Silver Tree is a currency, right? And I said, yeah. Well, why don't you use that as the, because the investment currency, so investors in the UK have to put down a lump sum, basically, of money, and then they get 50% tax back from the government, right? But they've still got to put 50%, they've still got to put 100% of the money down, and most people just don't have that kind of cash. Peter just said, well, use silver for it. And I sort of stopped it. I can remember where I was. I was actually on a treadmill. Well, not treadmill, a stepper thing. I'm too unfit to be on a treadmill. But and I remember thinking, oh my God, yeah. Why didn't I think of that? And that is precisely what happens in the big fix. These ideas just come from, they're like God-given in a way. It's just weird. There's an energy that comes into the room. If you hand over your ego leave it outside the door, and just tap into the energy and let it flow, amazing ideas happen.
Mhm. And all these
This
people
is
come together of like mind. And that has a lot to do with it, because when you live in this state of mind of gratefulness and thankfulness, and you will kind of apply that to every aspect of your life begins to change. So the partners that I used to always be so afraid of because I had bad experiences in the past, but I've always made it a routine thing with me to whatever has happened in the past, that was then. Every day was always a clean slate with me. So that was always a part of how I live. Not that I take the lesson. I'm going to take the lesson from what I need to learn, but going forward, it was like clean. So I would just live that way. So now, being a part of Love Entrepreneurs, I'm being faced with people who seem to be of like mind, who have that emotional intelligence and consciousness, and really want to do positive things. When you come into this big fixed arena, there is just so much love for real. That's why it's called Love Entrepreneurs for a reason. It's just people are there because they really want to be there. They really want to help you get to the next level. They really want to generate some ideas that can take your company to that next level. So when you are surrounded by that much positivity, you're gonna get positive things out of it. Like, that's just the way that this is the things that you would normally unfortunately think you would expect from businesses, competition and all these things. It's just not prevalent here because it's not a thing. It's support.
I think Peter wanted to say them, but I think that is the point, right? It is not, when you go to some of these investment forums, right? Now I go to them and my heart, I just can't stand them because I automatically go into competition mode.
Mhm.
Automatically, the
Mhm.
competition is on. And it's an
So you
ego drop.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I don't like the person I become because I stop serving the purpose I'm there for anyway. And certainly, I'm serving my own ego, and in the competition, I'm trying to be the best, the best person on the block. And it's just, I just don't like those things. It's not that I don't like competition, because I think people often look at business ideas from the perspective of what can I get out of it,
Mhm.
especially when you go in front of investors. They're all there. What can I get out of it? And what Peter's invented here at Love Entrepreneurs, I want Peter to talk specifically about this because it is totally transformatory, because no one's done it before. Peter, tell everyone about what you've come up with.
all right. Well, it's pretty simple. Silver is a currency we use at Love Entrepreneurs, and it allows you to sell your products and services in this currency. You know, to exchange it for this currency. Then take this currency, which, imagine you can't sell your products and services in sufficient quantities for cash. It's something you would have never had. So it's extra to what you would have normally sold as your capacity. So you can take this extra.
Spare capacity, basically, you're talking about, right?
Yes. So you can take this extra and invest it. So it's a cash you would not have had any other way. You turn it into an investment, and it may be the next best thing that happened to you, because you can buy a stake in business that's providing a service which is a bolt-on to your business. It's a natural fit. Therefore, you continue growing your business. You don't need to invest it like to something completely different, and that's the beauty of it.
But the other thing, of course, is if you think about an economy which is completely based on cash, I suppose, the reason businesses fail, I said at the beginning, why do businesses fail? They tend to fail because people give up. and I stick by
Yeah.
that. But I have added
Yes.
this other cash element because I am aware that if I in my life can contribute something to business, I am going to give businesses funding. And if I have to do it in a different way, then so be it. Now, that's why we've done it by the silver method. Anybody that wants to fund their business um, can do it in silver.
Yeah.
Anybody who, and why can't you? Why can't you take business that you've never had before because you've got the time to do it? Take payment in silver or part cash, part silver, and use that silver then to pay for your Love Entrepreneurs membership, for example, or use it to pay for coaching, or use it to go and get Oliver to do some videos for you, or use it to get some
What
services,
retreat?
coaching services from Peter. There's no reason because it's all we're talking about here is talking about tipping into the power of the universe. We're talking about business we never had in the first place. We never
Yeah.
actually had that cash business in the first place. So if it's possible to create new business through our community, because don't forget we never had it in the first place, right? Which in turn pays for stuff that we pay other people in cash for, that we don't need to pay cash for, then we're going to become more cash profitable, right?
I love it. I think that we should probably revisit doing a panel discussion just on the benefits of that exchange. For those
Yeah.
of you who uh, are kind of scratching your head on what you may be hearing, if you're hearing this for the first time, this is again sponsored by Love Entrepreneurs. Love Entrepreneurs is a group of individuals who are all about the business of helping ordinary people build extraordinary businesses. They do this through something called the Big Fix, where you can come be a part of a mastermind, if you will, type of environment where you can share your business ideas, your pain points, and the group will pour into you, give you ideas, give you strategies for allowing your business to thrive. And then as you get those strategies, let's say, for example, you were hearing this word silver being tossed around and this company Silver Tree being tossed around. Let's say, for example, you wanted to do business with anybody you see on this screen today. You've got everything from relationship and business coaching and mindset coaching to media and social media management and video editing and development and everything in between on this screen. Law, real estate, all of that is on this screen, believe it or not. If you wanted to do business with any of us, what if I told you that you could do business with us and not particularly have to spend cash to do so? That's the Silver Tree piece that everybody on the screen is talking about. And we'll go into further detail with that. To close out this show, you'll see some videos that talk about the Big Fix and about Silver Tree so that you can get some more information. But listen, we're coming up to the top of the hour. This has been phenomenal. You guys have given some great insight and dropped some nuggets around a
Mm.
thriving business, around the Big Fix, around Silver Tree. Let's cap it off with just a short. We're gonna leave Lisa for last because there's Lisa's back, so we got to let Lisa do her thing that she does. But let's start and let's do a quick roundtable. Final thought, something you want to leave those that are watching with. We'll start with O'Leary.
Okay, I would just say contempt prior to investigation. Don't turn something away just because you don't understand it. Just be honest with yourself in that moment, right? Because your ego may go, I'm not interested. Take the time to investigate things properly. No is okay, it's a full sentence. But an unqualified no, when you haven't looked into something, might be one of the biggest mistakes of your life. So don't miss out. And come and do a big fix. Just come and do it. It's free, it costs you nothing. Um, the worst thing that's going to happen, you're going to get a report from me and 2 videos from Peter, and you will have exposed your business to some great ideas. That's the worst thing that's going to happen.
I love it. The best thing that could happen, if I could just chime in, is
Mm.
that you meet a whole bunch of people that you actually want to do business with, and then realize that wait a minute, you don't have to do pay cash for them to do business with you, right? So let me give you a real world example, Peter, before you give your last thoughts, right? Real world
Mhm.
example. I'm currently working with someone right now who I am doing some website work for, and I'm doing some video editing work for. And there is a particular fee for that, right? Now, what I've told this person is that, hey, you know what? I only want 50% of that in cash. The other 50% you can give me in silver. So what does that do for her now? The money that she would have paid, she can now save or invest in another area. There are some people who do 100% of what they do in silver if they're feeling nice that day and generous and whatever the case may be. And so that is the best of the scenario on the other end of the spectrum.
Or they've got bills like me to pay in silver that they haven't got enough silver to pay, for example.
Exactly. So definitely do that. Thank you, O'Leary, for that. Go ahead, Peter. You go ahead.
I just give you another alternative, which is maybe these people are in the mode of squirreling away silver for an investment.
That's
Yeah.
right.
But
Yeah.
that's actually a very good idea because a lot of people will the first question on people's minds will be, what if I can't spend anything? You are going to be challenged not to be able to spend it.
Oh yeah,
But
absolutely.
actually, you may want to save it for rainy days. You may want to take advantage of an investment. You may want to buy a property.
Yeah.
I can already
Yeah.
tell you.
Absolutely.
I can already tell you what why I'm banking silver for real estate. I'm just
Me
gonna put it
too.
out there. I'm banking my silver for real estate.
Good.
So,
Good
It's
idea.
gonna be good fun when we start doing deals, real estate deals on silver.
yep.
I got some.
Anyway. Oh, brilliant. We'll have a chat. Okay, so just to close the hour, stop trying to do something with what you already have. Because if that was enough, you would have had it already. So look at your personal, professional, and financial goals and start investigating what is it actually, what does it take to achieve them. Then build the skills which are required. And as you will be building those skills, yes, it will be hard. Expect it will be hard. Yes, you will fail. Expect you'll be failing. But as you are building a skill, you are improving. When you will be improving, you will confirm to yourself and to everyone around that yes, it is possible. I am getting there. I'm getting closer to my goals. And this validation is the thing which is going to push you forward. So get rid of the scarcity mindset. There's enough for everyone, enough clients, enough money, enough of everything. So just do what you need to do because there's a ton of people out there who are not willing to do this.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Listen, I'm going to hand it over to Lisa to kind of close us out the way that she normally does. But I'm going to say this in closing as my last final words. I want everyone. The title of this was Strategies for Building a Thriving Business. I want everyone to build a thriving business. There is an opportunity for you to do that, and it is called the Big Fix. It's free. You can come share your ideas, share your goals and visions, and I promise you, you will leave with a plethora of strategies for building a thriving business. And if you want to implement those strategies and don't have enough cash to do so, I got you there too, because Silvertree will allow you to work with individuals like myself, like Illyri, like Peter, like Lisa, and a host of others from in every industry, from social media management to real estate and everything in between, using a currency called silver. And you'll see a little bit about more about that after Lisa closes us out.
Okay. I'll just say this to start. The more open minded you are, the more opportunities you get. The more closed minded you are, the less opportunities you get. Not rocket science, right? All right, everybody taking a deep breath. Close your eyes. Hold it for about 4 seconds. Release. Exhale. Taking another deep breath. Hold it for 4 seconds. Exhale. Now just kind of breathe normally. Keep your eyes closed. Picture your future self, the successful self that you see. Picture yourself having what you want in your life. Keep breathing in and out, eyes closed. What are you wearing? Where are you? What does the picture look like? What's your ideal place to be when you're at your pinnacle of success? You got to get a vision of what this looks like. Take that breath in. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale. Open your eyes. You have to see your future and your place in it. If you can see it, you can pick up the smells in the background, what you're wearing. Is the sun out? Is it cloudy? What does it look like when you're successful in your ideal life, being your ideal self? Meaning that you're working, you're trying to understand your brain and how it relates to your body and how you make decisions and how it affects everything around you. So if you cannot picture yourself in the future as your successful self in your ideal situation, it can't happen. So get into the idea of picturing yourself in your most successful state and get a feel for it. What are you wearing? Where are you? What's around you? Who you're with? What do you smell? What do you see? Set the picture for your future so that you can get closer to it. Because if you can't imagine it, can't happen. Imagination. We need that still. That's not something you just use when you're a child, We need that always. So let's get our minds into it. Like, actually, let's use our imagination. Let's develop it. Let's bring it back from our childhood, because that is what's going to help you get to that level that you really want to get to. But you got to see it first. And breathe.
And breathe.
The way we're supposed to, not this panting thing that we do, but you got to give the lungs the air. It has to expand. The muscles need to do what muscles do. And if we only breathe halfway every time, just every now and again, stop yourself in the middle of the day. Just take some breaths. You're only going to help yourself. Every breath you take, 20% of that goes to your brain. 20%. So you want to maximize the air that you take in. Believe me.
I love it. Listen, I thank you
Me
guys.
too.
Applause for
Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
Applause for the panel. Listen, I'll end it this way. If you want to be a part of a big fix, whether you want to be in the hot seat or you want to come and contribute your knowledge and expertise, you can reach out to anyone on this screen. You can send a message to me on whatever platform you happen to be watching this on at the moment. We will be back next week for another panel discussion, another episode of this thing called the Love Entrepreneurs Show. We thank you for spending your time with us, and we will see you next week. Peace.
Until such time.
Hi everyone, my name is Elena Lafferty and I'm a high performance coach focusing on intuition at the subconscious level, working with men and women who have become stuck in reverse. So today I was part of this wonderful meeting called Big Fix, and I absolutely loved it because the flow of ideas and suggestions and examples was amazing and have created so much information that I can use for my business. It was incredible. So I just can recommend it. If you ever need some help, this is the place to be. Thank you.
Attention.
I just got some marketing materials for my business and I didn't pay any cash. That's right, you heard me. No cash. Imagine going into a mall that is designed just for businesses, and inside this mall is everything that you need for your business, from marketing and advertising to coaching to video editing to voiceover work to course development and everything that you can think of. Now imagine going into one of these places, asking for what you need for your business, and when you get to the counter, the person tells you that you don't need to pay cash. Now, I know what you're asking. How in the world is that possible? This is how it's possible. It's possible through Silvertree, a business community that creates the opportunity for members to do business with each other using an internal currency called Silver. There are over 450 businesses that are a part of this community, and it's growing every day. How can you be a part of it, you ask? Click somewhere around this video and sign up for the next webinar so that we can introduce you to this new and incredible way of doing business. We want your business to be a part of this community, so we're looking forward to seeing you inside.